Disclaimer: This video contains songs from Ian, Kendrick Lamar, and Yeats' catalog. Also, the footage shown belongs to Walt Disney Studios and Marvel Studios. Also, a little bit of Universal Studios for The Incredible Hulk. Please support the official release. That's what they want me to say, but honestly, I'm not your mom, so I don't really give a fuck. Do whatever.
This will be a spoiler review of Captain America Brave New World, if you even care. Anyways, let's get into it. Captain America Brave New World is the, damn, how many MCU movies are we in now? Whatever, it's the next MCU movie that has just released, and honestly, it was mid. Not in the bad, negative connotation that the internet has used mid for, but like the literal definition of it was fine and it was average. I've seen it twice to kind of just get a feeling of how I feel of the movie, because first time I thought it was like, I also thought it was fine. So second time I thought it was fine. So I think it really is set that like I think this movie is just okay, which is funny because I think all the Captain America parts of this movie was actually really good. Sam Wilson as Captain America was honestly awesome. It was nice to see him take up the mantle, and I do like the struggle and doubt they gave him with his journey as Cap. Sure, in the beginning they really yell at you that he is Captain America, and I understand, I get it, but at the same time, you know, I think he does prove it in the actual narrative of the story that he has to take on that mantle. And again, the stuff with Isaiah Bradley was very touching. I thought it was very moving, especially if you knew the character. But again, I will get to that in the problems space. But I thought Isaiah Bradley was a really good character in this. And yes, Sam, Isaiah, and Harrison Ford. This is a movie where Harrison Ford is actually trying. Like, what? That is a crazy thought to think. Like, Harrison Ford was acting his ass off, and the Red Hulk sequence was pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed the Red Hulk sequence. The new Falcon I thought would be annoying, but honestly, he was pretty cool. So that's all the positives I have about the movie, where all the Captain America stuff worked for me perfectly. I think the way they handled Sam, I think the way they followed up on Falcon and Winter Soldier, I thought it was good. I thought it was great. Since this is the spoiler review, again, I'm letting you know right now, this is the spoiler review. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully they're out of here by now. All right, the Bucky cameo was a really good use of a cameo. It's like the MCU remembered how to do a cameo that's not obsessed with nostalgia. But no, I really like this scene because it was a nice heart to heart, and it really shows how much we've like grown with these characters. Like, remember when Bucky was just beating the shit out of this dude in Winter Soldier, and now we come a long way to the point where Bucky even says that he loves Sam as his great friend, and I thought that was really nice to hear. Like, it really shows how much Bucky has indeed grown. But like, that's kind of the problem. I wish this was kind of the whole movie, because the negative aspect of it is that it has to follow up so much Incredible Hulk stuff. Now, I think the way they followed up on Eternals was good. In my second screening, when they did introduce the Celestial and it popping up, there was somebody in my theater that was, I guess, talking to their friend, but like, I heard them, and they said, I don't even remember that, which just goes to show you the cultural impact of Eternals to society, which is none. So sorry, the 5 Eternals fans. You know, you're not getting that representation. But you don't even need to have watched Eternals to watch this, because, I mean, it's a comic book movie, so you're like, okay, whatever. Something just popped up, new material, adamantium, whatever. If you're a hardcore MCU fan, obviously, you know it's the Eternals stuff, but, like, again, it's not, like, something that is really something that will probably like change your viewing experience, in my opinion. But the Incredible Hulk stuff will, and I think that's what holds this movie back for me, is that a lot of the Captain America stuff is good. I think Anthony Mackie, this is his best performance as this character, and by the end of it, I fully believed he was Captain America. To me, he is Captain America. Sure, Steve Rogers might still be my favorite of the two, maybe. Although Sam is getting real close to being my favorite, so it's a toss-up when I say that. And I love both characters equally. And I like that because they address it. It's not one of these where they're like, oh, this is the new version, deal with it. They're like, no, we are addressing the literal scary thing of carrying the mantle of Captain America, which I thought was interesting. Now, in terms of the Hulk elements, especially with the leader, I did not like a lot of it. Well, actually, hold on, let me get more into the positives, because like I said, I did like Thunderbolt Ross. And the Red Hulk sequences were good, but they showed too much in the trailer. And I understand Red Hulk is a big part of the marketing for this movie and why maybe a lot of people went to go see it, but I think that they showed too much. And this is a rare problem. Well, this has been a problem in the Multiverse Saga. This wasn't a problem in the Infinity Saga to an extent. You still have that issue with movies like Iron Man 2, if you even remember those trailers, or Avengers Age of Ultron. Like, those trailers did show a lot of those movies, but I feel like in those movies you still got a lot more, right? Like, at least at the end of the day, you still got a lot more Avengers stuff. You still got a lot more Iron Man stuff in those movies. Cap is like, you get a decent amount of Cap stuff, and sure, they may have shown too much Red Hulk. I feel like, I'm imagining they promoted this as a political thriller, right? And they only teased Red Hulk, and we didn't see any of the sequences with him, and then you finally see it for the first time in theaters. I think it would have made the experience like a lot better. But again, it is what it is. We don't live in that world. And they still delivered on that action sequence, I feel. But the leader was not good. I don't think he was a good villain at all. I feel his plot to ruin Ross was off. It seemed like he just betted that, oh, Captain America's not going to come here. I'm going to set up his friend. Okay, Captain America's going to investigate. I predicted that was going to happen. And that's kind of his thing. He's like, he predicts so many possibilities. And we'll talk about the post-credit scene a bit. Like, he predicts so many possibilities, but he didn't predict the two main possibilities: that Captain America was not going to turn back around to save Isaiah, and he didn't predict that Captain America would neutralize the rising conflict between America and Japan when they were at Tiamat Island. And I feel like those are aspects the leader should have considered in this movie. Like, not even factoring in that this is the MCU and there are so many heroes around the globe that not one of them would be involved or whatever. But anyways, does he kind of still win? I mean, I guess he does expose Ross as bad at the end, and he does ruin his image. And this is more of a nitpick. This is not a criticism to the movie. Like, more of a nitpick towards the MCU. But why waste the Red Hulk being the president idea? Like, I think it would have been interesting if you kept him as the president of the MCU. I think that would have been having a lot of very interesting, lasting effects across the franchise in the future. But at last, they didn't do that, so I'm not going to hold it against the movie. And I think the resolution they had for him was still nice. But yeah, I think the leader and them following up a lot of the Incredible Hulk stuff, especially without the Hulk, like, at all. Like, he doesn't make a single appearance and all of this is happening because of him, is weird. Like, canonically, Sam Wilson has fought more Hulk villains than the Hulk in the MCU. What? Anyways, I think the overall movie, it's funny. I think it was fine. But I just wish they had leaned more into the Captain America aspects, like the Serpent Society and Sam. Explore more of the struggles with Sam and the mantle, and having more stuff with him and Falcon. Although I think Falcon still did his thing. Sabra, the Israeli character, has gave this movie so much controversy. Could have honestly been cut from the movie. I'm not only saying that because she is Israeli or anything, or the character is, because it doesn't play that big of a factor in the movie. Now, I assume it is because of all that controversy that happened that Marvel decided to probably cut down her character or really lead into it, which I think is good because I think that I mean, it's tough because this Captain America movie is just generally going to be political, and I do think we'll get into it. But I will say this: for Samra, like, you didn't need her. You could have replaced her with Sharon Carter, and she would have served the exact same function in this movie. Like, there was no need to introduce this new character, especially since Sharon is still out there, and we haven't had a follow-up to the tease in Falcon and Winter Soldier at all. So, I mean, it would have been nice to see her at least in this movie, but we don't even get that. So, honestly, you know, yeah, I mean, she gave this movie a whole lot of controversy only for her, like, in the final movie. I can only speak to the final movie. I can't speak to all of the original version, all this stuff. The final movie, the final thing they released to the world. Her being Israeli is not important to the plot, but her character could have just been interchanged with Sharon Carter. Also, she couldn't act. But I think overall, again, the movie's a 6 out of 10. I think if you're an MCU fan, you might have some enjoyment of it. I think if you are tired of the MCU's trajectory, I don't think this movie's gonna change your opinion on it. I think it is better than the stuff they've released recently, but I do think that this movie's not gonna change your thoughts about the MCU going downhill or whatever. Like, this is not the movie to win you over, but it is like a nice popcorn movie in a sense. Now, the post-credit scene, you don't need to watch. You know, it feels so last minute. It was like, oh, there's other people out there, like the others, and it's like, I don't know, maybe they were setting up Kang Dynasty, and because they were doing the pivot the same time this movie was being filmed, they probably were like, we gotta make it vague so that it could seem like he was teasing Doctor Doom or whatever. Will we even see the leader in the Avengers movies? I don't think so. To be honest, I think they will forget about this. And it's just so that Sam could know the thing the audience has known since 2022. So it was weird. But, you know, I think this movie's fine. I think you'll have an okay time. If you want to wait for streaming, I understand that too. But honestly, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not the worst thing they've made. It's definitely not the best thing they've made in the MCU. But yeah, what if you have seen Captain America: Brave New World? What did you think about this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like Captain America: Brave New World? Do you think there were parts that they could have improved, or, you know, you thought it was just fine as it is? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.